Hello students, welcome to the class of Health and Physical Education, Unit 10 Training and Doping in Sports. And today's topic which we are going to learn, that is principles of sports training. So in the last topic we have learned related to the meaning and concept of sports training, why sports training is essential, why it is needed. We have learned the main aims and objective of the sports training is to improve the performance of a sports person or athlete to achieve the success. And without sports training a person cannot get the success. So the concept also we have learned related to the sports training. What is the concept, why it has been brought? It has been working since ancient time period. During the ancient Olympic also it used to work. The player used to prepare themselves with the help of this sports training so that they can get the success in the sports and games competition and they reach at the top level. So we are going to learn the principles of sports training. So let's start. So sports training is a complex process which prepares the player for attaining the highest performance. So it is one of the complex process. It is not a short term process, it is a long term process. As we were discussing in the last video, that in one night a player cannot be prepared. They cannot improve their performance at a highest level at over a night. So it is a considered as a complex process. They require different types of trainings to develop their strength, to develop their flexibility, their coordinative abilities, clear, their speed. So these all are the physical fitness components which has been essential to develop in a player, and it depends upon the type of game which they have selected or they have chosen. The entire process does not depends on the successful training program but also on the sports biomechanics, sports medicine, exercise physiology, and sports psychology, etc. There are many more. So these sports biomechanics, sports medicine, exercise physiology, and sports psychology, they are the subdisciplines of physical education. So without these, having the knowledge about the biomechanics, about sports medicine, physiology, and sports psychology, this sports training is incomplete. We can say that they must be having, whoever the coach or the experts who are giving the sports training to the athlete, they must be having the knowledge about all these disciplines related to the biomechanics, that is the force, the physics of the force, the physics and the force which is been applied on the body when the body is in a motion. Related to the sports medicine, different types of injuries, what are to be applicable for the players, different types of exercise to overcome the injuries. Then related to the knowledge of physiology, the functioning of the heart, the functioning of the respiratory system, cardiovascular system, how it used to function, thermodynamics, everything is been learned. And related to sports psychology, behavior of a player is very much essential. Their psychology need to be understood well. Only then this sports training may get a success. So for this, the knowledge from these disciplines of the physical education has to be applied into actual practice. So these are being applicable and for the when the practice is being given to the players. These principles of the sports training work as an instruction for the trainers and players. So it used to work as a trainer, that is the who used to train the player, and for the players also. Now we are going to start with the principles which are being applicable, which has to be keep in mind when the training is being given to the players. So these are the principles which we are going to learn when the training is being given to the players. The first principle, it is been given because the principle, it is not that this is the first principle, because the principle it is, these are the just jot down principles are being just jot down accordingly. So here we are having the first, it is been, that is the principle of individuality. So the principle of individuality states that each and every person has a unique ability. So here we know that every person are different. They are having different because we have learned the different body types also. They are having different qualities in the personality. We have also learned related to the qualities which a an individual have. So they are having a unique ability. Both two persons when they are standing in front of us, they both are not same. They are having a unique abilities. The both of them are having. For here, we need to keep in our mind that both the persons are different. So the load or the exercise which we are been giving to them, that also it may differ. If one of the person is thin, having a weight of 50 kg, another person is having a weight of 80 kg, we can't give them both the same training. Clear? So here it is to be keep in the mind, the principle of individuality is to be kept in the mind. Or the beginner or the advanced player, we can't give them both the same training. Clear? So here to be kept in the mind the principle of individuality. And here it is also been given that the large muscles that used to heal slower as compared to the small muscle. So here the small muscle used to get healed fast. If they have got injured, small muscles have got injured, they will heal fast as compared to the large muscle. Here the fast twitch fibers, they used to heal faster as compared to the slow twitch fibers, because when the fast twitch fibers, they are having a good supply of the blood, and due to that the recovery will also be faster. So women generally require more recovery time than the men. So here that is the individuality. They are talking about the individual. Many of the athlete, those who are having a more fast twitch fiber, many of the person are having slow twitch fiber. So their recovery rate will also be different. Clear? So fast or explosive movement requires more recovery time than the slow movement. This is clear. Principle of individuality. The next principle which we are going to learn, that is principle of progression. According to this principle, the exercise should not be increased too rapidly. Whenever we are going to apply the load or different types of exercise we are going to apply, we do not use to apply the exercise on the player such that so that their heart rate may increase faster. Clear? There must be a gradual increase in their heart rate. So for example, they may go for a light jogging, then afterward there must be applied different types of exercise, then stretching exercise, then sprinting, a light sprint, then again then they need to improve their speed. Clear? So if the exercise can be increased too rapidly, it may result to the injuries or muscle damage. And if the exercise or the load is being provided too much on a player, then it may cause to the muscle cramps, muscle injuries, or it may related to the muscle damage also. Exercising above the target zone can be dangerous. On the first day you have told the players that you go and run for 20 kilometers, it is not been possible. So here the chances of muscle injuries will be more. When you used to increase the load on the different types of exercise, it should be increased slowly. That is progression. Used to tell us slowly the success can be, we can achieve the success slowly. So the same thing, the exercise which has been applied, that should be increased also slowly, not rapid or quickly. Exercising above the target zone can be dangerous. The principle of progression also makes us realize the need for the proper rest and recovery, because we also according to the progression, as the load increases of the exercise, so here the rest and recovery period also must be to be kept in our mind. The constant overload can lead to the exhaustion, and if we are continuously, if we are improving the load, for example, the player is been practicing having a load of 2 kg weight, then after 15 minutes, if I improve 3 kg weight, then after 20 minutes I increases 4 kg weight. So it is going to create the exhaustion, and it is also going to create the injuries to the player. So the principle of progression is to be kept in mind when we are going to give them the training. Then we are having principle of continuity. So what is the principle of continuity? Tells us that this is the training, this is the principle that the training should be continuous process. There should be here, that means that there must be, when the training is being given to the player, it should be given continuously. There should not be having a break, that after 10 days or after 20 days they have been given the break of 5 days and again they are going to start the training. So there it is not going to give a good result. So there should be not any break, it should be regular phenomenon. In fact, there should not be long period of inactivity. For example, if you are given the break of 1 month, so long period of inactivity is being there, then the success chances is very less, then the training is not that much fruitful. So it has been observed that the discontinuity of the training reduces the physiological capacity of the sports person. Physiological capacity of the sports person reduces. That may be related to the circulation of the blood, cardiovascular fitness level, their muscular fitness level, their strength, and their speed, endurance, that was also going to reduce if they are going to have a long break or discontinuity of the training. Improving your ability in the sports is very specific. Then next principle is principle of general and specific preparation. This is the one of the principle which is to be kept in mind, that whenever we are going to prepare the player for the any of the sports, then definitely it is to be kept in mind that general preparation is must, because on the basis of this general preparation the specific preparation can be done. Clear? So for the improvement of the performance, both general and specific preparation are equally significant. General preparation serves as a base for specific preparation. The general preparation increases the functional capacity of the body system and organs, on which the performance of the sports person directly depends. So you have seen that before on going on the ground, the player used to warm up themselves. They are having a general preparation. Then afterwards, some of the exercise and some of the skills they used to also practice, which is related to the particular game, that is going to help them during that game. So here example has been given that speed improved through running will also be beneficial in football, because before any of the event, either it may be basketball, it may be football or volleyball, or whatever the game it may be, the general preparation is must. Because during the general preparation we used to make our body warm up first, which is going to help the which is going to improve the functional capacity of our body system and our organs also, and which is going to be beneficial for the specific preparation. On the basis of that, specific preparation can be done. So this is the principle which is to be kept in mind. Then we are having principle of reversibility. Now what happens, the reversibility tells us that if the player used to discontinue the application of the particular exercise, like running 5 miles or bench pressing of 68 kg 10 times, you will lose the ability to successfully complete that exercise. Now if I used to discontinue the any of the exercise, if I am doing every day, I am doing 5 miles of run, bench pressing of 68 kg for 10 times, and if I have discontinued this, then what is going to happen? Then the success, I could not complete the exercise successfully next time, because I have discontinued for 10 days. I am not doing that. First I used to easily run for 5 miles, and now I can I'm having a problem to run even 4 miles or 3 miles also. So here, due to this discontinuity, what happens, that muscle used to get waste. So his or her muscle will atrophy. Atrophy means wastage of that muscle, discontinuation. So, and the cellular adaptation, like increased capillaries, that is blood flow to the muscles. When we used to do the regular exercise, we are having a good blood flow to the muscles, and the mitochondria density will reverse. So he or she can slow this rate of loss of substantiability by conducting and maintenance of the reduced program of training during this period. When we know this is because rest and recovery, when we are learning about the rest and recovery is very must. And if there is a due to discontinuity, and if these all problem used to arise, and there is a chances of muscle injuries are low, are more, and here you may find out that due to that discontinuity there is a muscle atrophy, proper blood circulation is also not there in the capillary. At that time the training program should reduce the training program, and when the person reduces a little bit of training program during this time period only, that is type of rest and recovery only, then what happens, the person or the athlete, they may improve. So this is the one of the principle of reversibility, that they must be given reduction or conducting the maintenance of that program in during the training. That is the reversibility. Again, they can reverse themselves by reducing the training program during this period. Now then next we are having, that is principle of rest and recovery. So we all are aware about the fact that body regenerates during the rest and become better and stronger than before. As we know that a person who is involved in a hard work, then they must require the rest also. So proper sleep, proper rest, if they are getting, then they can prepare themselves for the next day also. So here it is essential, so that the training program should be made in such a way that there should be a proper rest and interval between the training activities. What are the training activities are being there, they must be given the rest. Yes, I have seen that when the trainings are being given to the professional players, at the time they are having a working schedule from morning when they used to wake up, then afterwards what are the activities they are going to involve, for example running, jogging and that all, then the general exercises are being done, then specific preparations are being done, then afterwards they are getting a rest. After getting the rest, again they are going for the field for 2 hours of rest or 3 hours of rest. Again they are going on the field. Again they are going to prepare themselves for the specific preparation of any of this activity or skill preparation. Evening hours, again they are having a afternoon lunch, then they are having 2 3 hours of break, that is considered as rest is being given, then again evening for 3 hours continuous practice. So here there must be this is to be kept in the mind. Rest and recovery is one of the principle which is to be kept in mind before training the player. So the training program should be made in such a way that there should be proper rest and interval between the training activities. Then principle of overload. Now, principle of overload states, see, the word overload means more load, giving the more load. So, this is also the principle of overload is to be kept in mind before giving the training, because there should be greater than normal load on the body as required for the training adaptation to take place. When your body is not adapted on the first day, if you are having a more load, your body is not adapted for that load, but gradual increase in the load is going to adapt after sometimes some time period or after some days, and then afterwards you can easily lift the load and you will not know also that I am having such types of load. So the normal training load cannot be improved, cannot improve the performance. But if the training load remains static, if the same training load remains the same, the effectiveness of the load diminishes with the passage of time. So here there is it is being told that there should be a gradual increase in the load also. So the normal training load cannot improve the performance. If you want to improve the performance of a player, and if you are having that the player is practicing for 5 kg of the load and he is using that load, and every day he is to practice the same, then his performance is not going to improve, because there must be increase in their load also. That load may be any of the thing, either it may be of the exercise or it may be of the training, whatever may be. So here it has been applicable that there should be a gradual increase in their load. So here if there is not if they are having a same load for a longer time period, then the performance may reduce or diminish with the passage of time. It can only maintain to achieve adaptation of the load. Only to adapt the load it can be maintained. It means that for a continuous improvement of the performance, the training load should be increased after the adaptation of the previous training load. Now we need to see the player, that if the player or athlete, if they are comfortable with this load and they have learned to adapt, they have adapted that this much load is they can carry, then the load must be increased afterwards. So it is telling, they are telling like that only, that it means that there is a continuous improvement of the performance. The training load should be increased after the adaptation of the previous training load. Then next principle is that is gradual increase in the load must be there. So that is the principle of overload is to be kept in the mind. If we are applying too much of load on the player, then the performance is going to reduce, it is also going to diminish. So there should be a gradual increase in their load also. Then we are having 8th point is principle of variety. Now variety means different types. So the training is a long term process and the recovery can become boring for both the athlete and the coach. Same type of training if we are giving to the players every day, then the player may get boredom and he may get bored. So a successful coach should plan a variety into the training program to maintain the interest and the motivation of the athlete. different days, different types of exercise, different types of training, different types of workout must be given, so that the player must also be find out that no, I am going to do this today. So the successful coach should plan the variety into the training program to maintain the interest and the motivation of the player. So this is one of the principle of variety to be kept in mind before giving the training program. Then next we are having the principle of transfer of training. See, you can easily identify with the help of the word. The quote is been given, transfer of training. The apex aim of the sports training is to attain the good result. It can be said that the sports training aims to be enable the sports person to put up for a better performance in the competition. Therefore, the principle aims at guaranteeing good performance and maintaining it for a longer time period. So, main what is to be main focus, that the aim is to have a good performance, and that should be maintained for a longer time period. If the player is playing better, and that performance should be maintained further also in future also for a longer time period. So however, without the implementation of the other principle, the principle cannot be achieved. Other principles, this principle cannot be achieved. So proper stress should be laid on the implementation of the other principles by the coach and physical education teacher. So transfer of training, when we are having the training, so same type of training should not be given to the player. There should be, the training should also be transferred. If, because the main purpose of the training or the principle is training is what, is to have a good performance, and that should be maintained for a longer time period. So without implementation of other principles, if you are not implementing other principles, this principle cannot be achieved. So training should be transferred from one training to the another training. So proper stress should be laid on the implementation of other principles by the coach and physical education teacher. Then next we are having principle of balance. This principle states that exercising a certain part of the components of the body primarily develops that part. It means that to become better a particular exercise, to become better at a particular exercise or skill, you must perform that exercise or skills regularly. There must be continuation or regularity in practicing that particular skills which are being required. We know that for cricket, we know that defensive skill is required, attacking skills are required. So these skills must be practiced daily, on the daily basis. Clear? So there must be it should be balanced well. Then we are having the various principles, like principle of specificity. This principle states that the exercising certain part of the component of the body develops that part. Specificity, that means specific part of that body must be developed for a particular game. It means that to become a better at a particular exercise or skill, you must perform that exercise or skills. For example, a runner should be get trained by running, a swimmer by swimming, and the cyclist by cycling. So principle of specificity tells us that a person must focus more on a particular exercise or particular body part of the body, which is essential for a particular game. For example, if the person is playing table tennis, then the arms movement and the legs movements is very much essential. So they must focus more on the arm movement. They must practice the arm movement continuously. Clear? The same thing has been given in example. For the runner, it should be trained by running. Swimmer must be trained by swimming, and cyclist must be trained by cycling. That is the principle of specificity. Then we are having principle of ensuring result, principle of cyclicity. So there are the various other principles, but we have just covered these 10 principles. So you can prepare the notes on the basis of this. From my side, this much. Thank you everyone. Thank you.